Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, gals and guys. I'm just laying in bed watching some Christmas movies with my Santa Claus. Just a grown man laying in his bed with his computer with his Santa Claus. Really don't judge. It's Christmas time. So what are we doing? We're doing Pluto this time out. I got 5 movie reviews for Pluto, 5 movies that we just watched, me and my Santa Claus, and we are going to review them now. So let's get to it. And to start out, I always like to show all the streaming services that are available where you can watch free movies and television shows. A little commercial here and there, but not too bad. And here's the 5 movies that we'll be reviewing this time out for Pluto. And all the links to those movies will be down in the description. They were live, at least they were live the time of these reviews. And then certainly add your thoughts, or maybe you have a movie that I haven't reviewed or that I don't even know about, you can put down in the description. And here's the Pluto logo. So let's get to it with our first movie. Bad Santa is a 2003 American Christmas black comedy crime film directed by Terry Zwigoff, written by Glenn Ficarra and John Requell. You know I'm going to destroy names. And starring Billy Bob Thornton in the title role with a supporting cast of Tony Cox, Lauren Graham, Brett Kelly, Lauren Tom, the great John Ritter, late John Ritter, and the great late Bernie Mac. It was Ritter's last live-action film appearance before his death on September 11th of 2003. The film was dedicated to his memory. The Coen brothers are credited as executive producers. The film was released in the United States on November 26th of 2003 and was screened out of a competition at the 2004 Cannes Film Festival, and it received positive reviews and was a commercial success. An unrated version was released on DVD on March 5th of 2004 and on Blu-ray on November 20th, 2007. I'm pretty sure I saw the theatrical version on Pluto. It came out as Badder Santa. The director's cut DVD was released in November 2006, features Zwigoff's cut of the film, including an audio commentary with him and the film's editor, which is 3 minutes shorter than the theatrical cut and 10 minutes shorter than the unrated version. Now, I watched this movie on cable years ago, and all I can remember is I didn't like it. I'm not exactly sure why. It's one of those movies where you forget the entire plot, but have something inside you that reminds you that you didn't care for it. It could have been my mood at the time. I could have been drunk. Who knows? So this is my second go about 20 years later, and so Bad Santa and the sequel are both pretty stupid movies. I did laugh at several parts of each, and I will be recommending both of these films for your Christmas experience. Just keep in mind, a movie called Bad Santa is exactly that, and certainly not for kids. This was a lot better than I recalled. Again, perhaps it was my mood at the time I first watched it. I think the movie was so blown up when it first came out, my expectations may have been higher. The second time, all I could think of is I didn't like it with no clear specifics. So my expectations were much lower. I don't know. I was in the mood to watch a dumb Christmas comedy. This is a dumb Christmas comedy with raunchy humor in adult situations. And this is a dumb Christmas movie and feels unfinished. Bad Santa 2 is a 2016 Christmas black comedy drama film directed by Mark Waters and written by Shauna Cross and Johnny Rosenthal, a standalone sequel to the 2003 film Bad Santa. The film starring once again Billy Bob Thornton, Tony Cox, Brett Kelly, Kathy Bates, and Christina Hendricks, and features criminals Willie and Marcus again teaming up to work as Santa and an elf, respectively, this time to rob a Chicago charity on Christmas Eve. Principal photography began on July 11th, 2016 in Montreal, and the film was released in the United States on November 23rd of 2016 by Broad Green Pictures. In contrast to the original film, it received generally negative reviews and grossed $24.1 million worldwide against its $26 million budget, less than a third of the original film's $76.5 million, making it a box office bomb. This movie, although I did chuckle at it, this movie has an unsatisfactory ending. There doesn't seem to be a complete ending. It's as if parts are missing. The biggest example is Billy Bob Thornton's sex partner's husband, who was stealing funds from the same charity he was stealing from. It was brought up, but there was no payoff to even having the husband in the film or bringing up the fact he was taking from the charity, so it didn't really make any sense to have that in there. Kathy Bates played Billy Bob Thornton's mother, and although she's arrested at the end, there's no satisfactory conclusion to the end of their relationship or their story arc. There's no satisfactory conclusion to any character's arc, so I can see why this failed at the box office. It just feels like an incomplete third act, and it was set up with no payoff. There are some good laughs in the film that come off more like individual skits than a cohesive story. I mean, the movie's a mess. You have different writers and a different director than the first one, so I'm going out on a limb here and assigning blame based on that fact. I still recommend it, and parts were good, but as a complete movie, it's a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces, but there's enough comedy in it to entertain. 12 Days of Christmas from 2020. Home from college for winter break, childhood best friends blur the boundaries of their relationship during a night of heavy drinking and are forced to deal with the consequences. Amy and Steve return home after their first semester of college, hoping for a relaxed winter break, but have to navigate turbulent reunions, unspoken romances, and unplanned pregnancy. This movie is like Juno Light. It just takes place during Christmas, and what I liked is that they portrayed the father of the unborn child as sympathetic rather than the stereotypical guy that turns his back on the pregnant girl, which we've seen countless times in films. Yes, we know all guys are scumbags when it comes to unplanned pregnancy, or at least that's what Hollywood would like you to believe. But I'm glad they played the character the way they did. The movie is lighthearted with a solid script and good acting. Not your typical Christmas movie, but I guess I don't really review too many typical Christmas movies. It's the movie Juno at Christmas. I'm sticking with that. It's worth a watch. Check it out. The Apartment is a 1960 American romantic comedy drama film directed and produced by Billy Wilder from a screenplay he co-wrote with I.A.L. Diamond. It stars Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, Fred McMurray, Ray Walston, Jack Crushen, David Lewis, Willard Waterman, David White, Hope Holliday, and Eddie Adams. The film follows an insurance clerk who, in hope of climbing the corporate ladder, lets more senior co-workers use his Upper West Side apartment to conduct extramarital affairs. He is attracted to an elevator operator in his office building, unaware that she is having an affair with his immediate boss. The Apartment was distributed by United Artists to widespread critical acclaim and was a commercial success despite its controversial subject matter. It became the 8th highest grossing film of 1960. At the 33rd Academy Awards, the film was nominated for 10 awards and won 5, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay. Lemmon, MacLaine, and Crushen were Oscar nominated. Lemmon and MacLaine won Golden Globe Awards for their performances. It provided the basis for Promises. Promises is a 1968 Broadway musical by Burt Bacharach, Hal David, and Neil Simon. Ever since its release, The Apartment has come to be regarded as one of the greatest films ever made, appearing in lists by the American Film Institute and Sight and Sound magazine. In 1994, it was one of the 25 films selected for inclusion in the United States Library of Congress National Film Registry. Fred McMurray plays a real scumbag in this movie. I'm used to him playing these wholesome characters. So it's a nice switch to see him play this type of character. A married man who can't keep his hands off the girls and makes false promises to keep them around. I see not much has changed since 1960. People remain to be the same, and the same kind of shenanigans take place. Fred McMurray was excellent in this movie. Interesting to see a very young Shirley MacLaine before she got all weirdo. The story of this film is very timely. I wonder how it was perceived back in 1960. I wonder if it was shocking to portray a married man and a womanizer back in the 1960s. I mean, divorce was not commonplace as it is now. I can't say adultery wasn't, but it wasn't discussed like it is today. Although the focus is not on the Christmas holiday for the film, the story mostly takes place on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The season is more of a backdrop than a true Christmas film. It is a great movie, and I highly recommend it for the holiday trimmings and cookie decorations. Snow Day is a 2000 American comedy film directed by Chris Koch, written by Will McRobb and Chris Viscardi, and produced by Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon Movies. It stars Chris Elliott, Mark Webber, Gene Smart, and Chevy Chase. The film premiered on January 29th of 2000 and was theatrically released on February 11th, 2000. It takes place during the events of a record snow day in upstate New York, depicting various subplots, including a group of kids planning to thwart a snowplow driver in an attempt to get a second snow day. Snow Day was met with generally negative reviews, but was a box office success. The soundtrack single Another Dumb Blonde by Roku became the biggest chart single of Hoku's career, whoever the hell Hoku is. The film was released on home video on October 3rd of 2000 and re-released on DVD on September 26th of 2017. A musical remake was released on December 16th of 2022 on Paramount Plus for some strange reason. This isn't technically a Christmas movie. It does take place during wintertime and after a snowstorm, so we'll make that stretch. It's a movie I knew about, but I never had a reason or wanted to watch it until now.
This movie's stupid. This movie was not made for me. I'm guessing anyone under the age of 13 may really enjoy this film. In fact, I am recommending the film for that age group. It's your typical teenager angst, goofy, silly, dumb comedy filled with every trope imaginable, with the backdrop being what the title suggests, a snow day. Very thin backdrop for a very thin movie. Not a big fan of Chris Elliott. Not a big fan of Chevy Chase, beyond the Clark Griswold character, which I guess he practically plays in this film. It's just a stupid movie, not a stupid fun movie. A stupid movie. I'm guessing if I was 12, I would enjoy it. It is Nickelodeon, after all. And after my reviews, I always like to show where you can get these films. All you need to do is go to Pluto.tv or just do yourself a search on the Googles, and then I go to on demand. And because it's not Christmas time, it's a couple months before because I have to put these together before. It's going to be down a bit. It might be more up front once it gets around the holiday time. Oh, no thanks. All right, so here they are. If you scroll down enough, you'll find them. And then Christmas movies, view all, and then you've got all these lovely movies to watch for your Christmas season. So we still got 5 days left to go over some other films. So I will see you tomorrow.